remember about that game and where you are when that last series of plays are happening?
I was talking to one of my buddies about it. I was like 20 years ago. It felt like yesterday.
I can't even check.
Right. I remember that lost the game.
Yeah.
Going to the tournament. Adam Morrison was probably one of the faces of college basketball during that time. He was a really special player. And they were winning the majority of the game. And I remember the first half.
They were upset.
Yes, we couldn't make a shot. Like, we literally couldn't make a shot in the first half. It just seemed like we were close.
Can you check the audio?
So everything was going our way. And I think it was Adam Morrison and Joe Batista that looked at the time.
That is a rush right there.
Just everything that we did not
I would check, but it's kind of like
second half. I mean, for like the last stretch, I don't know how much time.
can't really hear him. It's because the audio's not in, dog.
Start cutting down. Next thing you know, we're like probably down by like 4.
Yeah.
And now the crowd's in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can feel the momentum changing a little bit. And when we got that steal, and I think we got a steal, we went up. Our Jordan Farmer got a steal. He passed it to Luke, and then we went up by like 1, I think, at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then they came back down, and that's when everybody sees that little clip where we were with me and I think Ryan Hollins or Aaron Afalo dove on the ground. And then you see the clip of Adam Morrison crying, which is like, that's when we knew we won the game from that moment right there. So, man, it was an unbelievable game. It's probably one of the best games I've ever played in. And this is, going through all the NBA games that I played in. That was probably one of my most favorite games to be in.
Darren Collison with us here again, Naismith Award winner, UCLA, I believe 11 seasons in the NBA.
Yep.
Before we get to the NBA stuff, just one last question, at least for me, on what it's like to play at a school like UCLA. Right? Like, was that something you always wanted to do growing up here in Southern California?
I never understood what it's like to play at a school like UCLA because I was just in it. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to make the best out of it. Try to create the most experience out of it, playing with really great players at the time. So it didn't really dawn on me that I was playing at a school like UCLA. I would say with my last stint with the Lakers and seeing how valuable it is to be on a team like that with the market is when I really understood being on a team like UCLA. There's only like a few teams in college basketball that have that type of market, that have that type of aura about themselves where you feel appreciative. And, for me, it kind of hit home later when I played for the Lakers for that little stint.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of that, you mentioned it before, but you kind of glossed over it. Are you training players now? Are you in Irvine working?
For sure.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Yeah, I got a training company. It's called Pros Vision. We've been around for the last 3 years. It's been going really well right now. We got a lot of the top young players from high school that's now playing college basketball, and even guys that we trained from high school that went to college is now playing in the NBA. So, man, we just kind of took off in the last 3 years, and we had some really good players. I think our last big-time players was Chet Holmgren, who got, drafted to OKC, Paolo, who got drafted to Orlando Magic.
Jay's had a big win tonight. I mean, I know they're down in the stands, but they beat the Knicks tonight, which for the Knicks, that's a terrible loss.
Yes. So, we're pretty fortunate, you know what I mean?
Who's we besides yourself? Are there other guys?
It's me. I have a buddy that trains with me, Sean Marshall, who played at Boston College. Paris Blackwell, he played at USF and Washington as well, and Calvin Mitchell as well. And, pretty much I just designed a company with guys that actually played the game, you know what I mean, whether they play college basketball, professional basketball, and they're here just teaching as many young players as possible.
How more advanced are kids now at this stage than when, like, you were playing? And it wasn't that long ago when you were that age. Oh, my gosh,
man. These kids are way more skilled than they ever been before, and I think that's why the game is growing so much, you know what I mean? And it's funny because, you always hear, like, older players critique, like, younger players and how they play, and they shoot too many threes and they dribble so much. But it's because they can do it. Right? And they're doing it at an early age, and by the time they get to high school and college, like, they kind of take off from there. But no, the game is in a great place right now. Like, it's a lot of skilled players, and I'm just happy to be a part of it and help them with their development.
So, Darren, you're from out here, IE? Went to high school nearby?
Yep, I went to high school at Etiwana High School from Rancho Cucamonga.
Yep. And when you were in high school, were you, like, one of the most highly recruited kind of guys? Did you have, like, every offer that you could? Or, I mean, how do you ultimately get to UCLA?
Man, that's another great question. I don't know, right? So I was really skinny back then. I didn't get a lot of love. I didn't get a lot of recruitment during that time. It was frustrating. You know what I mean? I think I was ranked like 150 best high school player, and I was like a 2.5 star, something like wildly disrespectful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think Ben Howland, him and Kerry Keaton, who was assistant at the time, came to a game that I was playing at, and I happened to have one of my best high school games ever. And the assistant coach took notice of that. And come to find out, the coach that was coaching him before was my mom's coach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we kind of had that connection
Right.
a little bit. And so they just saw me over the time, and they saw me play. I mean, I was playing in AU games where, like, nobody was coming to the games. Like, I was so underrated, like, wasn't recruited highly, you know what I mean? And then UCLA was probably one of, like, the only schools that looked at me and gave me a chance.
And then you go first rounder in the NBA.
Yeah.
21st pick?
Yep.
Yeah, 21st pick.
Yep.
Hornets at the time.
Yep.
But you end up the bulk of your career in Indiana at a time when they were a pretty good squad to be
For
on,
sure.
right? For
Yeah.
that stretch of time. You were playing in some pretty important playoff games back then. What was that like when you're at that level?
And don't remind me, because we were playing against LeBron and Dwayne Wade and when they formed that team in Miami. And it was some tough battles, you know what I mean? I wish we would have.
You played them 3 times, right?
Man, yes, man. But every single time we felt like we had a chance to beat them.
Yeah.
But, you're playing against LeBron, who's, arguably one of the greatest players who ever played this game. Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, those guys mixed together. I mean, come on. I mean, but we gave it all we got. We were young at the time, but, we tried to give it all we got, and we just fell short.
Maybe you could get into something we were talking about earlier today. So do you think that Austin Reeves is better than LeBron James?
Oh,
What's so funny? I don't understand.
What's so funny? You know what I'm gonna say? I'm gonna say yeah for now because LeBron's not playing.
So, okay, Laura, if you're back in the studio, so Jay Williams works on ESPN with us as well. He does the morning show with Keyshawn and Max Kellerman.
Yeah.
And they were talking about, now my interpretation of this is he's talking about how does Austin Reeves continue to be this successful when LeBron comes back?
Yeah.
My guy Cap here thought he meant that, the way he heard it was,
yeah, Austin Reeves is better than LeBron James.
So I'm going to let you hear the cut, and you, as someone who played 11 seasons in the league, will let you decipher what you think Jay is alluding to here. Laura, play what Jay said this morning.
Everybody keeps saying, I wanted to say it first, right? Until I started digging down into it. Well, if you bring back LeBron, this team can get potentially to the Western Conference Finals. How do you bring back LeBron? Like,
oh my God.
The more I sit there and think about it, the more I think about when you bring back LeBron in this short period, how in the hell is Austin Reeves supposed to continue to play at this level? The ball's in Austin Reeves' hands a ton. You guys know the kind of lather, the kind of rhythm that you get when the ball's in your hand. You increase the amount of possessions, the volume of possessions. I feel way more comfortable with the rock now. When LeBron comes back, and Austin Reeves has been balling, D'Lo has been balling, right? But now you bring LeBron James back. Are you going to play LeBron James off the ball?
My answer to that is no, but I'm curious to hear what you think.
Trouble in paradise.
Yeah,
You got to trade LeBron because Austin Reeves playing well.
That's right. It's now Austin Reeves' team, pal.
Yeah.
Nah, I mean, look, Austin Reeves is having a heck of a run right now, and that's what you want, right? Especially from a young player like him, and he's going to be really good, for many, many years. But we're talking about LeBron here, right? When LeBron comes back, I mean, that's not a hard adjustment to put him in. However, I understand what Jay's trying to say.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think
How do you maximize Austin?
You have to create more opportunities for Austin along with bringing back LeBron. And I think you can do both.
And by the way, I actually think that, they made the change in the starting lineup yesterday, and I got a chance to talk. I was doing the game yesterday on the sideline, so I talked to Darvin about this a little bit. And it was basically, hey, look, Austin's playing great.
Yeah.
We could use a little more ball handling. You know what I mean? There's never enough ball handling on the floor.
For sure.
With him and D'Angelo. And he said with Beasley, with the starting group, he was going to get, 1 out of every 5 possessions, a chance to get a real good look right from 3 and get something run for him.
Yeah.
Whereas with the second unit, it could be once every 3 potentially, right?
For sure.
So there's always a method to the madness of trying to kind of make the chemistry work.
Yeah, I just think where the Lakers is at right now, the depth that they have, it's very hard to make everybody happy and
Right.
everybody play their games a little bit, but it's a good problem, right? If one guy's starting and another guy's coming off the bench like a Beasley,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That's not a bad thing,
Yeah,
right?
right.
He's one of the best defenders on that team.
Yeah.
But a guy like Austin Reeves, I think what he's doing right now, he's showing everybody that he can play make.
Yeah.
He's been showing people like that, and I think he can create more playmaking opportunities for a guy like LeBron.
Yeah, and by the way, I'm pretty sure, and I don't. You can answer for Austin if you like. I'm pretty sure when LeBron comes back, Austin Reeves will be like, "Sure, no problem. I'll play off LeBron."
Well, that's
Yeah,
exactly
for
what's
sure.
going to happen. Of course, that's what's going to happen because Austin Reeves will be like, "Yes, sir, LeBron. Tell me what to do, and I'll do it."
As he should.
That's what he should. Right.
Yeah.
That's why the whole Brody thing never could work out.
Yeah.
But I don't think the Russ thing is different. I think that's different.
I just, man, I thought about it too yesterday, and I'm like, man, Austin Reeves, think about from where he came from.
Right.
Yeah. His
Like
town,
being
where he grew up in,
Man, dude,
1,100 people.
come on now.
I mean,
Yeah.
Like
for
he
real.
was, I think he was
Undrafted.
undrafted.
Well,
Right.
he went to first of all, like you, like barely like a 2-star or whatever.
Yeah.
Went to Wichita State, had to transfer to Oklahoma.
I didn't even know he did that though.
Yeah, Wichita
Wow.
State first, then transferred to Oklahoma. Got to go in a little bit Oklahoma, undrafted.
Yeah.
Because he's a little bit of a tweener, right? He's
Okay.
like 6'6", and he's kind of thin.
Yeah.
He's like long arms. And
Keep going.
they don't-
There's another quality too that people look at him and they go, he can't play.
what do you
For
say,
sure.
Come on.
Like
He's a young white guy?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Come on.
but honestly, I think that's what makes him special too,
Yes.
because he has that look like, okay, well, can he really play basketball?
He looks like the boy next
Then
door.
he steps on the court. He's one of the best players out
Yeah.
there. But I mean, his story is amazing.
Yeah.
To be undrafted,
Yeah.
and now you're playing with arguably one of the best players in this world.
Yeah.
Greatest basketball player in LeBron James, and you're balling. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, come
Yeah.
on, we got to
I
give
know.
him
Yeah.
some love. for
Amazing
that
story.
one.
Hey, let
Yeah.
me ask you this. You ready? I said I thought the Lakers in their last 10 games could go on a run, go 8-2.
Mm-hmm.
The schedule says that if they do something like that, they'll get up into the 6th spot. You think they could possibly do that even though they haven't all season?
For sure. You know what I mean? I think they have the talent to do it now. I think the depth that that the Lakers have is going to help them prevail to win more games. It's not heavily relied on AD to get it done, even though AD is a big part of their team. I think they won a game when AD had like 8-10 points
Yeah.
the other night, which is a good sign, right?
Toronto was doubling him every single
For
time, and he
sure.
only had 8 points.
You know what I
Right.
mean? So I think LeBron wants to essentially win games where he doesn't have to score 30 to 40 points, right?
Right.
You don't want him to go through the whole foot. Problem.
And by the way, historically, that's not who he wants to be either. LeBron doesn't want to be the guy, taking
Yeah.
the most shots. He wants to be the guy. I mean, certainly he's going to get his points,
Right.
But he's a guy historically that's been an incredible, passer and getting guys involved historically.
They got a lot of good things going their way right now, and I think Laker fans should be excited for that.
Darren Collison, all right. So you're going to be like, nail biting on this one with Gonzaga, or you think the Bruins win comfortably?
I'm a little worried.
Yeah.
Jalen Clark, our best defender,
not available.
is not here,
Yeah.
right? So that's what's kind of worrying me right now.
Bona's already dinged up with his shoulder, and then Singleton got hurt the other day.
Did he?
Yeah, ankle.
In practice?
No, in the game.
I was about to say. Oh, last
end of the game. End
okay.
of the game. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm a little worried, but
I like that you're worried. A little
UCLA,
too much overconfidence out there right now. Seriously. There's
Yeah.
a lot to be worried about.
man.
They're good. Gonzaga's good, too.
Gonzaga is really good, but you know what? I think the style of brand that we play as UCLA, we like to grind it out and play defense, and
Right.
I think that helps us out to win games.
In the
So,
tournament especially, you need to
for
have
sure.
that
So
kind of
I wouldn't be surprised if we win, and I hope we do. So
Yeah, awesome. Darren, thank you so
Yeah,
much
no
for hanging
worries.
out
Hey,
with
thanks
us.
for
Thank
coming
you
out,
guys.
dude.
Yeah,
I
for
know
sure.
this is a
Appreciate
hometown
you.
for you and everything, but still,
thank
it's
you
cool.
for bringing me back home.
Yeah.
right?
Yes, sir. Naismith Award winner, 11
Thank you, guys.
seasons in the NBA.
Yeah,
Darren
appreciate
Collison
it.
Darren
with us
Collison.
here on Sedano Kap
What
on
a guy.
710 ESPN.
What a guy, man.
All right, we got one more segment to go here. Dealer's Choice is on the way.
Okay,
I
all
mean,
right.
apropos, because we're at a
Yes.
casino. All right, that's coming up next here from Yamava.